Hello, I'm Sharon, and I'm here today with Jeff Tanner, lead author on his new Principles of Marketing text with Flat World Knowledge. Hi, Jeff.
Hi.
Um, I'm going to jump right in here and just ask you a couple of questions about
All
your
right.
textbook. Can you tell our listeners, you've written some very successful textbooks, selling business marketing with McGraw-Hill and a Salesforce management book with Pearson. Why did you want to write a Principles of Marketing text?
I think for several different reasons. One is that in my role as an administrator, I just found that we were getting crazy with trying to teach our students so many different terms, and the push towards assurance of learning and the other things that we had to do for accreditation got me to thinking about how far off track we've gotten with our principals classes, and really driving them towards learning a dictionary and not learning how to do marketing. So that was really my first drive towards writing a principles book. Then the second thing was, I'm pretty active in the field with practitioners, and there's so many things going on in marketing that's changing the way marketing is done, and I just didn't feel like we were doing that very well in the principles books that were out there and in the way we were teaching marketing. As an example, Toyota has a Department of Engagement Marketing.
Oh, that's great, right?
Yeah, so, there's all these new jobs, there's all these new things that people are doing. Social media is becoming important. It's a different environment, and I just didn't feel like that any existing books could be revised in a way that would serve what's really happening in the field. I felt like we just really needed to start over. So those were the two driving forces. One was accreditation, and which caused me to realize that we were teaching terminology and not how to do marketing. And then the second was just the realization that there's so many new ways to get it done, being organized differently. And I really wanted to write a book that would help students understand what marketing is really like and how it's really being done.
Now, it sounds like you've alluded to it a little bit, but my second question has to do with kind of what's special and different about this particular Principles of Marketing book than the others that are out there on the market today.
I think we've really tried to take the practitioner's perspective. That's not to say that we've abandoned the academic perspective, but, the 4 Ps help us understand marketing, but you don't go out and find a product department and a price department and a promotions department.
That's right.
What you find is that price and product are so integrated that's companies say, we want to price a product at this level, now let's build a product to fit that price, or it's all just so intertwined, and I think we've really tried to capture what's happening in the field, so that when students get through this class, they'll have some understanding of how to do marketing, and if they aren't going into marketing, they'll have a better understanding of what's driving the marketing department and the people that they're working with. I think the other thing too is that, because I have a strong B2B background, I think this book's going to be stronger in the B2B than a lot of them. Most of the students who graduate in the area of marketing are going to go into companies that sell to other companies, and so I think we've done a better job of positioning that part of the book. We've tried really hard to incorporate real people and real jobs, and each chapter has material in it that will enable a student to kind of try on a job and see if this is something that would interest her, and if so, then maybe we've recruited a marketing major. So I think that's a bit unique and different. And of course, as I already said, the way marketing is getting done is really different. So I think that's a unique contribution that we have, is that we've really tried to reflect that.
Yeah, no, and it does sound like some of those particular angles will make this book different than what's out there on the market. It seems as though there are texts on the market today that do one piece of maybe what you said, but they haven't been able to necessarily integrate all of those aspects together.
I mean, I think one of the reasons why other books are good at one or two things, is because of the nature of the author team. And I think one of the things about this project is I'm just really excited about working with my co-author, Marianne Raymond.
Oh, yeah.
And, I think that we really complement each other in terms of our interests, and I think that's making for a much stronger book. And she's an outstanding teacher. And that's another thing that makes this really cool is that, we've got a product that's really going to engage students well, and I think that's really exciting about it.
And like we already spoke about, or like I already said, you could have published this book with anybody, quite honestly.
Yeah.
And how proud we are to have you here at Flat World Knowledge. But could you tell our listeners what made you decide to publish with Flat World?
In terms of Flat World Knowledge, part of it is that I really believe in the direction that Flat World is going in. When I look at who we're hiring as faculty, it struck me that, this is a very technologically savvy young faculty that we're hiring, and they are demanding elements in teaching packages that I just don't think traditional publishers can provide, nor can they provide them at a cost that students can afford. And I'm really concerned about access to the materials. When I teach principles of marketing and I'm using a traditional book, I'm just so frustrated by the number of kids who aren't even buying the book.
Right.
And they're trying to learn from PowerPoints. I just don't think that's getting it. So, the whole Flat World model is, I just really see that as the direction of the market. I think it's going to meet the learning needs of our students. I think it's going to meet the teaching needs of our faculty going forward. And I wanted to be a part of that.
Oh, and you know how happy we are that you chose to publish with us, and
Thank you.
And of course I want to thank you for your time today as we'll wrap things up, and thank you of course for your dedication to your students and your discipline and your colleagues in marketing, and from all of us marketers out there. So we appreciate it, and have a wonderful week.
Thanks, Sharon.